Hi once again. Today we want to look at the inverse of a function. Okay, when we say the inverse of a function, we are just saying it's the reverse of a function. And when we say the reverse, we are saying we want to go back to the way it was before it is written in the way it is written. So for us to find the inverse of a function, there are just a few steps that we need to follow, and these steps will be shown in the examples. So we quickly go to example 1. Example 1, we have given that the function, or given that f of x is equal to 2x plus 3, we are asked to find a inverse f of x, then f inverse of negative 3. Okay, so you should take note that the inverse of a function is written in this form, f inverse x, or we can read it as fx inverse or f inverse x. So f inverse x of this function, the function is just 2x plus 3. We want to reverse the way it was. So in the first place, you start by replacing where there is f of x by y, because we said previously in the first lesson to say y is equal to f of x. So for us to find the inverse, we are saying we are replacing, we get the function here. Let me write it. So we are writing fx is equal to 2x plus 3, where there is fx there, we replace by y. That's the first step. Say 2x plus 3. From there, we are going to make x the subject. Okay, from this statement here, this function, we want to make x the subject of the formula. So we are saying, in the first place, we'll bring 3 goes to the other side, so it will be y. When this positive 3 goes to the other side, it will be minus 3 is equal to 2x. This side will just remain with the 2x. From there, and divide by 2 this side, by 2 on the other side. So we are going to have y minus 3 over 2 is equal to, here 2 and 2 cancels out, will remain with the x. Therefore, this can also be written as x is equal to y minus 3 over 2. What we've done therefore there is, we are saying where there is x there, now we can replace by the inverse of x. Okay, so f inverse x is equal to, where there is y, we are replacing by x, so say x minus 3 over 2. So equally this one, I can try to change the color. So this side, we said this side, we are saying can use where there is x there, we are replacing by f inverse x is equal to, where there is y, we have replaced by the value the variable x, and these others will just remain the same. And when we do this, then we have found the inverse of x, or f inverse x. Okay, we can go to B. B, we are saying f inverse of negative 3, f inverse of negative 3. B, we have f inverse of negative 3. So for us to find f inverse of negative 3, we need to come from f inverse of x is equal to x minus 3 over 2. Here it's completely substitution. We are saying if we get f inverse of negative 3, we have seen that where there is x, we have replaced by negative 3. Equally this side, we'll say where there is x, we replace by negative 3 minus 3 over 2. So here we are trying to find the value. Negative 3 minus 3 will give us negative 6 over 2. And if we divide negative 6 divided by 2, we are going to get negative 3. Alright, we can go to example 2. Example 2 equal is talking about the inverse of g. So I've just deliberately changed from f of x to g of x. So it's not always that a function will be denoted by f of x. Sometimes we can use g of x, and sometimes we can use any other letters. Okay, so here we are saying given that g of x is equal to 3x minus 6 over 6, so this function here is g of x, then we are asked to say find the value of g inverse x. So in the first place, question A, we are saying g inverse of x. We said if we have this function where there is g of x, we can replace by y is equal to 3x minus 6 over 6. Here we can cross multiply. This y is over 1. 1 times 3x is 3x. 1 times 6 is 6, so minus 6. Then y times 6 will be 6y. From there, we are trying to make x the subject equal in this question. So we'll say we take this negative 6 to the other side, so it will be equal to 6y plus 6. When it is negative on this left hand side, on the right hand side it will be positive 6. So we continue, we say 3x is equal to 6y plus 6. We are dividing by 3 here, equally there by 3, so 3 and 3 goes. X will just be equal to 6y plus 6 over 3. Okay, one thing you should take note of is this function can be reduced. We can say x is equal to 6y over 3 plus 6 over 3. This denominator here is for both 6y and 6. So from there we can now divide. We can say x is equal to 6 divided by 3, it will be 2, multiplied by y, it's 2y, plus 6 divided by 3, it's just 2. So therefore, remember, said, now change where there is x, you write f inverse x is equal to, where there is y, here, where there is y, we are replacing by x plus 2, and this one will be our inverse. Alright, we can go to question B. Question B was saying we find G inverse of x, or equally here, since we are using G, we can, instead of using F, we can use G inverse of x. Okay, so we are saying G inverse of x. Okay, so example B is saying G inverse of half. B, G inverse of a half. So we'll get our function there. The function we are using is this function here. So we'll say 2, where there is x, we are replacing by half, plus 2. And then if we multiply here, we see that 2 and 2 will give us a 1. 1 multiplied by the 1 in brackets, we are going to have 1 plus 2. And 1 plus 2 will just give us 3. Thank you very much.